next fighter, a chess boxer. He is also a bodybuilder, a gymnast, and he has a blitz rating of 2,100. What a renaissance man. In the white corner, it's Tadas Ceponis. What an entrance. Let's hear it again for Tadas. And fighting in the black corner is our second heavyweight, also plays another sport on the island of Orkney, the ancient Kirkwall bar game. Can we give it up for our next fighter, Hamza Buhari? He's got the moves. Weighing in at 92 kilograms and standing at 183 centimeters tall. Are we ready for some chess boxing? Let the fight begin.
I am very excited to be back in this chair and back watching these two guys play.
As excited we are to have you here with us. Which has been your favorite match so far, chess-wise, Anthony? Well, forget that. This could be the one. We're off. Okay. E-pawn opening.
Oh, a gambit
D4,
from the beginning.
C3. C3.
How do we name this gambit, Matt?
We are back in the 1920s here, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it going to be a goring gambit? Is it going to be a Danish? What's this?
So D5. D5 is the idea to, yeah, I think it's a goring, is it? Yeah. D5 is the idea to nullify it. I'm not a very good chess player, so I have no idea when to play it.
Anthony.
Oh, okay.
What the hell is going on here?
Gambit Central here. This is Gambit Central. The commentators are lost for words here. These guys obviously
he's going to win the piece back. This is great. Well, apparently they can't hear us, but that's...
Can you hear us?
Testing. Can you hear us now?
Well...
No good? No good?
What a start to the chess. We could be saying anything.
Could be saying anything, yeah.
And we won't say anything. What an what's a game? Look at this. It's a check. It's a check. Black is gonna... Black needs to get out of the check.
Technical difficulties here.
The crowd are being deprived.
The commentators have been
insanely
silenced.
good commentary. That's it, chess.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Ladies and gentlemen,
yes, we're back. We're back. What an appalling moment of purgatory for you all. Now you can finally know what the hell is going on. Though if I'm being honest, ladies and gentlemen, I have absolutely no idea. It's been a flurry of moves, a gambit for the senses, and my goodness, are we in for a treat, even with that interruption. So
Matt,
sorry again.
Part of the reason why we might have been gone. Wild opening. We had pawns being given up, pieces being sacrificed. Has it simmered down a bit now, Anthony?
I don't know. Well, queens are off, so yes. And I was just thinking that outage there, maybe it is just because we did not know what to say or make of this position. These players have come in here prepared with some theory, but queens have come off. It's like, but who's better? Who's better?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we had what was genuinely an absolutely fascinating position that they blitzed through quickly with what may have been very gratefully received silence, and now we just have a very level position by the looks of things.
Black has an extra pawn, but does he face some difficulties getting developed?
Black doesn't have an extra pawn here. I think we're with 6 versus 6.
I wonder, was it just like a theoretically correct opening that we missed all the nuances of, and we cut out and all the excitement is gone, and now we just have a boring, drab position that no one knows anything about. But
all
we're
we
going
can
to have a
do
lot
is
of fun watching
apologise.
anyway.
All we can do is apologise. There will be no refunds.
Well, White's going to pressure the c-pawn here. He's going to swing that rook that he's just developed to the third rank, maybe to c3, and pressure the c-pawn, which is backwards.
I think these guys have the ability to make something super drastic and dramatic out of a very boring position that this has now become.
I agree. I like the idea of White doing some rook lifts here, something like rook to c4 to f4. Though, to be honest, is that just sort of, you know, fiddling about in a position, trying to look cool without really achieving very much? You've got the backward c7 pawn, which White can target as well. I like h3 because you don't want to take on f3. And actually, no, is Black in a bit of trouble here? Because you take on f3, rook takes, oh no, king g6. King g6, and maybe you're okay there.
So the king's a little bit awkward, and I think what you're trying to allude to, Matt, is that if the rook appears on f3, it pins the knight to the king, and some threats appear that Black can just about wiggle out of. So the queens have come off, but there are some threats, Anthony.
As the first world champion, Willem Steinitz, once said, the first person to make a rook lift will win the game. So we are expecting some good technique as well as the muscles that we can clearly see.
A very proper start. Matt, what do you make of this?
Well, yeah, not my area of expertise, but I guess, I mean, given how even the chess is, I suppose this is a real opportunity to understand who is going to gain the advantage in the fight. Given that it is
Does
so
Tadas have a injury?
He's wearing the
He's wearing that, but he also winced. He winced at an arm movement. It seems that maybe he has an injury of some sort.
Hamza is
And
definitely
at the moment
piling
he's just
it on.
yes, but he hasn't landed a hit yet. Tadas's ducks and movements have been very, very professional here.
For a big man as well, he's very light on his feet as Hamza lands a couple there. Tadas getting a warning not to turn his back there from the ref.
Yes.
Matt, there's a sense of menace building up here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might be right. It still feels relatively attritional. It feels like maybe both are sort of a little bit coiled spring at the moment, maybe trying to feel each other out a bit, Chris.
Indeed, these guys have the energy of the sun in their movements.
And sunny it has been today. The Chessboxing
Yes, I
gods.
feel not one big hit has been landed, but a lot of energy has been spent. Oh, there was some gut punches there.
An exchange erupting. Tadas looking at his opponent to say, you may have landed, but that didn't hurt me too much. Some grappling, but the two big lads, they want to take a bit of a breather here, both of them.
I think the pain that both of them are feeling here is the exhaustion of the amount of energy that has been spent on the punches thrown and the ducks made so far.
On the chessboard, I mean, what a round of chess that was as well.
Oh, what was that, gentlemen? What was that? Did he just throw him to the ground?
It was probably dumped to the floor, vaguely reminiscent of Kai in round two.
There's definitely an injury
legal?
here. There's definitely an injury here with Tadas, with his left arm. I've seen twice him wince at his left arm movement.
Yeah, and he's pouring at it a little bit there. He's trying to hide it, but there's definitely a sign that some kind of elbow injury, perhaps.
This clinching is the sign of absolute exhaustion. These guys have been moving so fast.
Referee's going to have a word here as the gum shield has come out.
Gum shield
has come
okay.
out. Handy if you're carrying an injury there. Buys a little bit of extra time.
Yeah, I mean, that break certainly seems to have come at a good moment for Tadas. Again, with the chess match in mind, he might be thinking maybe a bit of respite. My opponent's had a really decent run at this, and perhaps he's got a bit of time to recuperate, just sort of generally regain his balance, his composure in both senses of the sport.
And Matt, the piece of queens have come off, but it's not a simple chess position when you come back to it.
No, you're absolutely right. And again, it's very easy to blunder after both bishop takes f3. Oh!
Been a lot of throwing in this match, hasn't there? But Hamza definitely has the dominant position here. But there's been a lot of clinching and a lot of throwing.
It's been a bit of WWE to it, definitely, as the last bout of grappling erupts as the bell goes. Matt, what's the situation that we come back to here?
Well, it's black to move, and black has a choice here. He can either play bishop back to h5, which would allow g4, forking the bishop on h5 and the knight on f5, or he can take on f3, rook takes f3, and then that knight is attacked.
So the bishop retreat would be a blunder. Is that right, Matt?
I think so, and it's not relevant as it turns out.
Yeah.
So rook takes f3. Chris, the knight's threatened. What would you do here? What's the best strategy for black?
Actually, isn't white potentially winning a piece here because the knight has to be defended and it is still in a pin, and then it will be subject to a G4, a pawn push.
Yep, that's the only way to stop it from being won, is to move the king,
Was good.
out of the way. So he
he
spotted the danger there.
Bishop to d2 is nice. Rook to e2, attacking the bishop feels sensible. But knight d4 is lovely. Rook d3 check, but when the king moves, what's black's threat here, Chris? Okay, he's already stopped it. Oh! No, he's played it anyway.
Oh,
and a check. Lovely.
He almost picked up the rook, but Tadas found a way out of it with throwing a cheeky little check in there.
That was dodging akin to what we saw in the boxing.
But rook
that
c4,
was a duck and dive.
Rook c4, what happens to the knight? Where does the knight go?
It is
the
looking
knight
a
trapped?
little bit offside there.
Is the knight trapped? Is that what you're suggesting, Matt?
I think the knight is trapped. I think the knight is trapped, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
And even more so. And even more
beautiful
trapped.
chess right here. That is a trapped knight. You can see the energy change in Tadas's composure at the board.
I mean, yeah, he's just interposed the bishop, very calmly cut the defense from the rook, and that knight is disappeared.
Beautiful. White
chess.
is a piece up, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely beautiful chess.
A piece up, and the queens have come off. It's looking like it could be a technical endgame coming up here.
Can we just recap there? The knight landed on e2, giving a fork to the king and the rook, and ended up getting trapped.
Tadas found a beautiful intermediate move there to save one of the rooks that was attacked, and then turned the tables. An intermezzo.
Or, as the Germans would say, a Schwesenstück.
Oh, very nice. Very cultured. G5, a nice move in some respects, but actually now Black's king is in a little bit of trouble, and H4 seems to exploit that
Lovely
immediately.
positional move. Putting pressure on that pawn. Lovely positional move. I really like how White is playing this.
And Black is down to 3.5 minutes on the clock. But Chris, how does this potential injury to Tadas that we discussed, how is that going to come into play in the next round of boxing?
He did look like he was carrying an injury to his left arm there, so he will be looking to finish this off as quickly as he can. As the pawns are exchanged, one pair of rooks is exchanged, this is going to go down to a technical endgame that may take Tadas a bit longer than he wants to convert. Anthony.
Indeed, he has a large advantage on the clock, though, but not large enough, likely not large enough to force us to not have another boxing round. So I think we're definitely going to see another boxing round.
Because although it is ostensibly just a bishop up with 4 pawns versus 4 pawns, White has got 2 passed pawns on the same side of the board once that G5 and H6 pawn swap. And really, White can just chuck his pawns up the board, Chris.
Yep, it's a longish convert. It's maybe one more round of chess in it. He should be able to wrap it up. He has plenty of time, as noted, on the clock. Hamza's only down to 2.5 minutes now, so he's going to have to move pretty quickly, and it doesn't have the stalling potential that is crucial. As the rooks come off, Anthony.
So for players of this caliber, White's win is easy. However, can he do it in the time before another boxing round? I don't know. I don't know how long's left of this round.
That is the big question. So it's an easy convert. Matt, how does White convert this one easily, as Anthony was saying?
Well, the king and the bishop can usher the pawns up the board, possibly even just the f5 pawn. You get the extra queen. The king is going to be on the back foot, and it's probably mate in maybe 8, 9, 10 moves. But here's the bell, and we'll have another round of boxing. Woo!
Back to the boxing. Anthony, what does Hamza have to do here?
So Hamza has to really knock him out, basically. That is his only option here. He will lose the next round of chess. So unless he can knock him out or TKO him in this boxing round, it is over.
And I mean, he'll lose the next round of chess, if not on the board, then actually on the clock. So yes, it is absolutely critical. The Tadas injury question seems to hover over everything. I guess it's all a bit speculative at the moment. But yeah, Hamza definitely forging an advantage in the boxing ring, but will it be enough?
Hamza is clearly aware of what he has to do, and he is doing his best to do it, and he's doing a very good effort. But Tadas is not looking to want to go down soon.
A big left hook.
That being said, oh my God.
That is a genuine knockdown. We're going to see the 8 count administered here. The left, the left.
Oh my God, we have TKO! TKO! TKO!
The win was there on the chest, but the arm that we'd noticed from the off, it was just bothering him too much.
I mean, there we go. That was the great unknown, wasn't it? And as it turns out, it decided absolutely everything. Such a shame given how dominant he was in the chess, but, you know, it's a hybrid sport. They have equal privilege, so absolutely fair play to Hamza.
By technical knockout, the winner